Okay, so today we are discussing about some of the terms or the concept of Agile. Okay, so first is Scrum. So what is Scrum? Okay, so what is Scrum? Scrum is basically the framework, or you can say the what is framework? Framework you can say in normal English, it is the setup. Scrum is basically the setup which we will be following throughout the Agile. Okay, so Scrum is basically the whole setup which we will be following throughout the entire Agile life cycle or Agile process. That is Scrum. Got it?
So it is any software agile or Scrum?
No. Nothing. No software, just the setup. Means it is just a setup which will be followed. Like you go to temple, or let's say you go to a religious place. What is the setup? You have to remove your shoes, or you have to wear some specific dress. You have to do some specific things. Just that is a setup. Same thing. When you in Agile, we have already discussed what happens in Agile. But what is the setup you will be following in that Agile to perform that task is called Scrum. Okay.
Okay.
Now sprint. Let me open that notepad. See, so each iteration, see, there are multiple iteration in Agile. So here we have 5 iterations. So each iteration is called as sprint. In the Agile, each iteration is called as sprint. Okay. So each iteration in Agile is called as a sprint. And what is sprint planning? So sprint planning is an event. See, the customer has given me this much requirements. Customer has given me that I have 5 requirements, F1, F2, F3, F4, and F5. So this all are one requirement for the customer. Yes or no? These all are one requirement from the customer. Now, what in sprint planning we do is that, let's say I came to sprint 1. So I do a planning for the sprint. So out of those, just like you go to a place and there are 5 suites present in a box. There are 5 suites present in a box, and doctor has advised you to take one suite in 1 hour. So out of this 5, you have to select one out of that 5, and that you will be getting in the first hour. Same here, there are multiple requirements present are given by the client. Okay. So in a particular sprint, I'll do a sprint planning and pick a particular requirement from that. Let's say there are 100 requirements given by the client. So in a particular sprint, everyone has agreed that 5 requirement I have to pick up. So I have to pick up 5 requirement from this 100 requirement from the client. And how I will pick up? I will pick up based on the priority which is given to it by the client. Now, out of the 100 requirement, the client says that this 5 requirement is the top priority. So see, everyone will be assigned a priority. Okay. Not that you can pick any random 5 requirement. Out of the 100 requirement, the client will say that these 5 requirement are my top priority. I need this requirement first. So those you will be picking up in sprint planning, those 5 requirements. You cannot pick up any random 5 requirements from the whole 100 requirements. Based on the priority which the client has designated to the requirement, you have to pick up. So now sprint 1, you picked up 5 requirements which are top priority as told by the client. Now in sprint 2, again 95 are left. So from this 95, again you cannot pick up some random 5 requirement, let's say. From there also, whichever had the higher priority as per the client, those only you have to pick. So in every sprint, how many requirement you have to perform, those priority one you have to pick up, not the non-priority one. So that is decided in the sprint planning basically. Understood?
Yeah. Can you please give any one example from the website, like which is the more?
No. See. You don't go by functionality that it is a priority. There may be a scenario in Amazon. I'll be placing an order for TV, and there will be one scenario that a logo will be displayed. Based on the functionality, placing the order for TV is priority. But let's say the client assign that I need the logo first, then you have to pick up the logo one rather than the placing the order for TV. Just to tell
Okay.
you. So it's all client. Client is God here. Okay, whatever he tells, that is final. You are no one to decide anything. Let's say customer is God, right? So for any company you are working, the client is the customer for the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
XYZ is taking a project from the client. So client becomes the customer for that company. So customer is God. So whatever he says,
Mm-hmm.
that is final. Now see, there is a functionality. I will be searching something here. Let's say I search some particular thing here, and if I click on enter, it will give me the result. And just this Amazon.in logo will appear here. So based on functionality, which one is appearing more priority to you? Obviously, the one which I search something, it is appearing, making me appear
Yeah.
something that is more
Mm-hmm.
priority from based on functionality. But client will say, no, I need this logo first. That is first priority for me. So you have to pick that only instead of this one. It all depends on the client. Whichever he tells the higher priority, you have to pick up that. Clear?
Okay. So
Okay.
in sprint, we choose to do those things first according to the client's requirement, to giving the priority to the client. And one more concept we have learned about the priority, that was according to the functionality. What was that?
No. That I will discuss again. No problem. I'll tell you. That I will discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Now see. So when these 100 requirements are there, this is called as product backlog. Okay, this 100 requirement is called as product backlog item. What is backlog item? Which are left out. Still, let's say in the first sprint 100 are there, so you will take out 5 and 95 will left. So this 95 will, which is called as product backlog, and this 5 are called as sprint backlog. The 5 which I picked up is called sprint backlog. The 95 which left out is called as product backlog. Understood?
So which is left, that is called the backlog items.
See, initially this whole 100 which are present, whole 100 requirement which are present is the product backlog. Now in sprint one, what I did, I picked up 5 and 95 is left. Now this 95 again become the product backlog, and this 5 becomes the sprint backlog. Simple. Understood?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Now, so release, we have already released what is a release. So at the end of the sprint, when we deliver the final bill to the client, that is called release. Already discussed it. So that is a release. Now product backlog and sprint backlog also you understood. Now effort estimation. Okay. Now let's say there is 5 features. Let's say there are 5 features. Okay. I will take 5 features in the sprint, in a certain sprint, maybe any sprint, not matter. So in Agile, there is a way of estimating the efforts of these features, whichever features are picking up. Okay, so one of the way which is widely used is called story point. Okay, so what happens in story point? Story point is nothing, it's just basically a number. It's basically a Fibonacci series, you can say. Means, you can say 1, then, or let's say odd numbers, just a series. Any series. You can pick up any series. So it's up to you, whichever series you want to pick. Okay. So Fibonacci series also you can pick it 1, then 1, 2, then 3, then 5. We can omit the first one because 2, 3, 5, like 8, like this it will go on. Okay. 13, like this. Now, any sequence is differ from company to company what they follow. Okay, so there is no specific format. You can follow Fibonacci series, you can follow odd number. You can also follow the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's up to you. Normally, Fibonacci series is followed. So yeah. Now there are 5 features. Okay, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. Now the sprint efforts means what is the total efforts which will be used is calculated by story points. That is one of the way to measure the work in a particular sprint. Okay, so how it is measured? Let's say F1 comes. So everyone will be in a meeting. Just understand this step, how it is done. Everyone will be in the meeting, manager, developer, tester, everyone will be in the meeting. Now for F1, okay. Now for F1, what will happen? F1 functionality, the manager or the Scrum Master. Basically, here the manager is called as the Scrum Master. What is Scrum Master? Who drives the Scrum throughout the Agile process. Throughout the Agile process, who drives the Scrum means the manager only. Scrum Master is the person who basically take care of the process of Agile. That means how it is proceeding. So he will ask for F1, how many story point you guys want to give. Okay. Now see, every person will have a different opinion. There are 5 developers. Someone may think F1 may be completed in, let's say, if it take 1 day, we tell is 1 story point. If it takes 2 days, we take is 2 story point. If it take 3 days, 3 story point. If it take 4 days, 5 story point. If it take 5 days, 8 story point. Like this, we give it. Okay. So let's say there are 5 developers. So someone will tell it needs 5 story points. Someone out of the 5, someone will tell it needs 5 story point. Then again, third one will tell no, I need 8 story point. Then someone else will tell no, I need 2 story point. So what the Scrum Master will do? He will see which one is the highest among the story points. 2 people have given 5. So this particular story point will be assigned as 5. Okay. Similarly, F2 counting vote will be done. So let's say in the vote for this 8 came maximum value. So 8 will be assigned. Again, similarly, F3, let's say 1 story point will be assigned. Okay. Similarly, F4, certain story point will be assigned. F5, again 3 story point will be assigned. So total story point will be addition of all this 5 plus 8, 13, 13 plus 1, 14, 14 plus 13, 47, 47 plus 3, 30. So this print has total 30 story point. Just like you go and measure something in kilos, right? One is 1 kilo, one is 2 kilo, one is 3 kilo, one is 4 kilo. Similarly, story point is a way of measuring the efforts
So
in
that yeah,
Scrum. Yeah.
yeah. So the
Okay.
developers are asking like how many days they need to develop for the one sprint, right? This
So
is for
here,
developers.
both for developer and tester. So both developer
Oh,
and tester will complete in, let's say they told 5 story point. Then both for developer and tester told we got completed in 8 story point. Okay, so this is just like a measurement. You measure something in kilos, you measure something in minutes, hours, same here. The efforts for each of the feature we measure it using a what unit called story points. Okay, so after at the end we'll calculate that yes, this particular sprint needs 30 story points. Understood?
Yeah.
Valuable both.
Yes, 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 sir. It's understood.
So this is how estimation is done in Agile. Okay, or in Sprint. Now, user story. So what is user story? Now see, when there is a F1 functionality, there are 5 developers, not that only one developer will work in F1 functionality. So F1 functionality, 5 developers will be working. So this F1 functionality, let's say F1 functionality is that I can track the history of order. I can track the history of the order. That is F1 function. So that will be denoted as user story in Agile. Just these terms, and you need to understand these terms, because when you go to organization, they use these terms. Okay, you may get confused. What is this user story? What is this story point? And all. So these terms are important. Okay. So this functionality. Now see, when I am telling that the functionality is there, that it will show me the I am able to see, user can able to see the history of the order place. Now, not that only one developer will be developing the whole thing, right? Someone may be developing to click the button to show the details. Someone may be working on the page which will show the details. Someone may be working on the database which will fetch the data. So there will be different developers, okay, for doing the same functionality. So what is user story in Agile? User story is the whole functionality. That means user able to see the order history details. Let me make you understand in a pictorial way. Understand. Okay. This is task one, task one, task two, task three. Again, this will be task one. Okay. You're able to see what letter I've written, right? Yeah.
That was Epic, EPIC.
Correct, correct. This is it. Okay. Okay. Now see how actually a requirement flows. Okay. So my requirement is, let's say first the the high level requirement is epic. Again, it will be subdivided into user stories. The user stories will be subdivided into tasks. So what is epic? Let's say order functionality. Let's say my epic is order this is the whole picture. Okay, out of that, see order history, order history, and this order. That's one complete. Result, button. So then this order is just order. Now see, the first feature. My first feature is that order functionality. Okay, that is my high level feature. So that will be called as epic. Okay, that will be called as epic. Now this epic will be subdivided. This order functionality can be first we can place the order, then second is we can see the order details, history details. Once we search the order, let's say I placed the order, I'm logged out. Someday back I come and I want to track the order details, then see the order history, then I can check it, right? When you place an order. So that is another functionality. So that will be called as user story. So when this order functionality as a whole is divided into one sub functionality, that is called user story. Now this user story will not be designed by a single developer. So again, it will be subdivided into different tasks. So in the order history page, someone will design the order history button. Someone may design the order history page which will show the details. Someone may design the order history search page. That means I'll say, give the order ID and click on search, it will go to the order history search page. So it will be again subdivided into tasks. Similarly, user two can be subdivided into different tasks. Okay. So this tasks are basically the one which is again done by the developer. So this is how the levels of categorization. So the whole feature will be called as epic. Okay, the entire functionality, high level functionality will be called as epic. Second, it will be subdivided into user story, the story 1 and 2, which will be again the sub functionality of this epic. Okay, then again it will be subdivided into different tasks. So which will be one minor subsection of that particular user story. Clear everyone?
Yes, clear.
So that is what is a user story. Now these terms are very important because in interview they will ask agile question, they will ask for CO. If you are giving functional testing or manual testing interview, agile question they will ask for CO. Okay. All the terms and all, what is user story, what is all this, what is this, that, they will ask you. Okay, the next is agile metrics. Now, when you run a bike, there is a speedometer, right? There's a speedometer. So, which tells you that how fast you are running, what is the speed of your bike. Okay. Similarly, when you are working in an agile environment, there needs to be a setup which will tells you the speed, or you can say how speed you are progressing, so that you can check yourself at every moment that I am progressing at this pace. I may be lacking behind in the sprint. I have to progress fast. Or let's say I'm progressing very fast, then at the end of the sprint, I may have what? Extra time. So that is called agile metrics. This is the metrics is the basically the what do you say way to measure the rapidness or the speed at which we are completing the task. Are we lagging back? Let's say I'm completing it at a slower rate. So it may happen that at the end of the sprint I may not deliver it because my work will not be completed. So I have to track it so that see when this agile is getting followed always remember every morning you will have a scrum plan before you do any activity. You'll start your day with a scrum, it's a scrum meeting. Okay. In the morning, before you go to work, there will be scrum meeting, then you will be starting your work in Agile. Okay. So where you need to tell that, yes, I did last day, I did all this activity. Today I'm planning to do all this activity. So if I got a block, means you have to give the update to the scrum master, basically, your progress. Now, what is his work? He have to do this agile metrics so that he will be tracking the progress so that he can what can say he can tell the team, yes, you are lagging behind, you need to fast up so that it will be completed in this team period. Okay, so for that you need to have a setup to measure the progress of the team. Same as like you are, let's say you are running a bike, you may not know at what speed you are running, but let's say you have to reach a certain point. So if you see your speedometer that yes, I am running slow, so you can speed it up so that you reach to the point. Same concept here, just an indicator so that you do your work properly. Okay, so what like the bike use the speedometer, similarly this agile metrics can be measured using sprint burn down chart. Okay, so what is a sprint burn down chart? So it's basically a chart in which the y-axis tells me the story point remaining in the sprint backlog, and the x-axis tells me the days in the sprint. Okay, what is the story point? Just now we discussed what is the story point. This is the story point. Okay, and days means your sprint will be generally in industry the sprint is of 2 weeks, that is 14 days. Okay, generally your sprint is of 14 days. So you need to track that how many story point you have means covered in development and how many days are left out. Okay, now see, if I am, let's say I have come to day 9. If I am running slow, what will happen? See, the reference line is this one, just a diagonal line. That means you should start from, this is the maximum story point. Let's say I have story point here, how many? My story point is 30 here. So my story point is 30 here. So the chart will start from 30. And let's say my sprint duration is 10. Why? Because even if it is 14 days, but you have Saturday, Sunday holiday. So the working days is 5. So for 2 weeks, 5 plus 5 is 10 days. So the normal sprint which you do is generally 10 days only. Because if you calculate the working days, it is 10. Generally, the sprint is 42, that means 2 weeks. Saturday, Sunday leave out 5 plus 5, 10. So 10 working days. Now, in 10 working days, I have 30 story points. So, what is my reference line? My reference line is that I will draw a diagram. So, actually, it should touch here. So, leave it. It's a diagram. So, you should actually touch it and come to here till 10th day. That should be my reference line. That is the ideal one which my speed should follow. So that is the ideal one basically. Okay. But let's say in the 9th day, out of 30, I have just completed 10 story point. Okay. In the 9th day, or let's say in the 5th day only. In the 5th day, is the mid of the sprint. I should complete 15 story point. let's say I've just completed 10 story points. So what will happen? My graph will come here. That means below the reference line. My graph will come below the reference line because the 5 and 10 meets here, so it is below the reference line. But let's say in the 5th day I have completed 20 story points. So it will come here something around above the reference line. That means if your graph is below the reference line, you are slow. And if your graph is above the reference line, then you are fast. You are going fast. That means in this period, see, I was fast, then I became very slow, then I again geared up, I became fast and completed the endpoint successfully. So this particular thing will will be a mirror for the team that you are going slow first. Now it was going fast, then the Scrum Master had no problem. The moment you go slow, it will be a mirror to the whole team. The Scrum Master will also see you are going slow. I need to gear up so that it will match the endpoint. So again, the team what it did, it geared up and it went to the endpoint. Understood?
Yeah, but where we create this these charts and where we do this agile metrics, or just on the documents?
No, this will run by the Scrum Master. This is simple only. This matrix is this chart is very simple. Just in daily meeting today, I have a daily meeting. Okay, from day one you start. Day one there will be a meeting. There will be 0, 0, nothing will be done. In day two, let's say they tell I have completed 5 story point. Okay, so let's say 2, 5. Your graph will be here. Okay,
Okay.
similarly,
So in the every meeting, we will tell our we will give our report to the Scrum Master. So
yeah.
on the base of that report, you will create this chart.
So till the point you are below this line, you are slow. The moment
Mhm.
you pick up here, let's say at the 7th day, I have completed 20 story point. Then I'll come here. So my what graph will go up. That means my pace is going good. I need to always be up above the line so that my pace is going good.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood everyone? Both me?
Understood, sir.
So these are a very important topic. I'm telling you, this is a must interview question. Other topic they may ask, they may not ask you, but this agile terms, they will surely ask you how you measure the speed and all this thing. Okay. Then agile project management, it is same only, just to manage the agile project. Okay. So there will be continuous release in each sprint. So it will be iterative process, basically. Next. So defect. So what is defect? What is a defect? Now you have already designed test case. Tell me what is a defect?
Yeah, it's a bug.
When it happens? When the two columns in my test case, two columns, the expected result and the actual result doesn't match, then
Mhm.
it creates a defect. It's a defect. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
When you are doing test case execution, when your expected column and the actual column doesn't match, that is a defect. Simple. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what is a defect life cycle? See, everything has a life cycle. That means it will start from somewhere and it will end at somewhere. Similarly, defect has a certain life cycle also. It will start when the actual and expected result doesn't match, but it has to end somewhere. Then only your project will be complete, right? So let's understand what is the defect life cycle. So when your expected and actual result didn't match, so that status of the defect is called new. That means it is a new defect, or just a fresh defect. Okay. Now, the status will keep on changing. Understand? The status of the defect will keep on changing. That will do in a tool. That will be learning. Okay. In a tool, that will be learning. So that status will change. So the status of a newborn defect or a new defect which you have raised, that is new. Then what will happen? You have to assign to a developer to fix it, right? Let's say I assign the defect to XYZ developer. Then the status change to assign. Okay. Now the developer
Yes.
picks the defect. Now the developer picks the defect and start working on it. Okay. And picks the defect, so it becomes active. Okay. Once it picks the defect, it becomes active. Now, let's say the developer thinks that no, this is not a defect. Okay, the developer may think, yeah, this is not a defect. The testing team is a new member, he doesn't know the flow. It may happen the testing team is a new member, so he doesn't know the flow. So maybe he has raised a defect which is not a defect actually, it is actually a requirement. So what he can do? So this flow will happen. See, if he thinks the developer thinks it is not a defect, what will do? He just reject it. Understand? He just reject it. Then there is a deferred. This is important term. So what is deferred? Let's say the tester found a defect in the sprint one. Okay, but that defect is related to a requirement which is not included in this particular sprint. It is related to a requirement which is present in the product backlog. That was 95 other requirement. So that developer can do as deferred. That means that can be worked on in next release. That doesn't need to be worked in this release or in this sprint. Let's say the tester found a defect which is a defect only, correct defect. But the developer will not fix it in this release, he will fix it in sprint 2 or sprint 3 or sprint 4 or sprint 5.
Okay,
Because
okay.
that
So
is
okay. So the developer is also thinking, yeah, this is a defect, but he is postponing this one.
no. He is postponing based on the requirement and the discussions happened. Not that he will postpone by himself. If a developer will postpone by himself, he will postpone everything. There is no defect. You have to tell the Scrum Master that yes, this is the feature which is not related to this particular thread. So no point of wasting this time. In sprint we will develop this feature, we can fix it there. So then it
Okay.
can go to the next sprint, then it becomes deferred. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, let's say if your developer fixed the defect, so what will happen? It will come to the tester again to test it. So the tester will test it. If the testers test it and find that the defect still is not fixed, still there is an issue. So what will happen? It will again go to reopen state. That means again it will reopen the defect, and again it will get assigned to the developer and it will become active. Assigned to the developer has already been done in the system. So again it will go to the active state and again the developer have to work. Again the developer fix it will come to test. Again if it found a bug, again it will reopen and go to active. This will go on till the defect is not fixed. This loop will go on till the testing we find that yes it is resolved. Then it will move to next step. If it is not resolved, means this particular loop will go on round and round and round. Okay, see this is a circle loop. There is no ending for this. This one there is ending. It will go here, completed. It will go here, completed. No problem. But if this one goes on, means it will go on and go. So let's say if your developer fix it and it is tested that yes, it is tested well and fine. So what will happen? Next, it will come to the state that verified. Yes, it is verified. It is fixed. Then what will come to the status that it is closed. Then it will close the defect. Yeah, this defect is closed. Understood?
Yeah.
Tell you all, Gautami, clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
Pratik.
So next, defect report. So what is a defect report? Defect report is a document that describes a defect. It will describe what is the defect. It will include what is the severity. It will include what is the priority. And it will also include what are the steps to reproduce the defect. Now see, the developer is developing many things. But if you raise a defect directly and assign it that yes, this button is not working, then it's not the acceptable way. The tester has to give the complete steps. Yes, you log into the system, you go to this flow, you go to this flow, and then click on this button. This complete steps need to be given to the developer, so that he can, because he has other things to develop also. He cannot go and test you like you and see that yes, I have to do this, do and that. You have to give the perfect step. You just go and replicate the step and see it. That's it. He cannot test you like test like you, because you don't have that time. You have to develop some other feature. So you have to give a defect report. So which will include, sorry, which will include the defect, which will include the severity, which will include the priority, and which will include the steps to replicate the defect. So these are the 4 things which it need to have. Okay. So what is severity and priority? Okay. So we have already discussed. Let's discuss it again. So what is severity and priority? Now, same example. There is a logo. There is a search bar. If I am searching TV, okay. Now, these two are defect. This TV, I am clicking on it. It is not showing me TV. This logo is not appearing properly. So tell me, out of these two defects, which is more severe?
The TV one.
TV one is more severe. It is less severe. So yes, I give it more severity. So severity 1 this defect, severity 2 is this defect. But the client says, no, I don't want this feature first. My requirement is that I'll give this, I need this feature first. So even though it has severity 2, it will be assigned as priority 1. Even though it has severity 1, it will be assigned as priority 2. Understood?
Yeah.
Means a defect doesn't mean that it has a high priority, means it will have high severity. Same vice versa. It has high severity, means it will have high priority. No. A defect can have low priority and high severity. A defect can have high priority and low severity. So severity depends on the depends on the functionality of that defect. That means it is happening a major flow of that application, then that is more severe. But priority depends on the client. What client wants first to be fixed. So that becomes more priority. Yeah. Ask.
Yeah. So yeah, if a client is not giving us any priority, then we will follow the severity, right?
Yes. But if the client says this is more priority, means you have to fix it first, then you have to fix it. Fix that. Okay.
Okay.
So this may be a tricky question. So they may ask you with example. So can a defect have more priority and less severity? If yes, tell with example. This may be an interview question. And today, whatever we read is your cert interview question. Okay.
Okay.